Still Gottlieb Show here on Fox Sports Radio. Okay, I have a question for you. Okay, Sam is Mr. Iowa. In case you didn't know, he's literally Mr. Iowa. He's more Iowa than the Iowa caucuses. Right? Iowa with your caucuses. Anyway, last night Caitlyn Clark gets drafted. And the ladies looked amazing. And there was a ton of attention given. And we did do the thing where we pretended like we cared about the other draft picks, right? But the truth is, so here's my belief in it. Right? There's three possible Caitlyn Clark effects. Does she continue to garner the attention that she has gotten? Does that attention only follow her? Does it follow the entire league? Does it follow all of women's basketball? And look, here's what's missing. We have to recognize is the power of college sports, right? If she plays for anybody other than Iowa, I'm not sure the response is the same. I'm just not. Because Iowa, I've told you this, Iowa kind of speaks to us, feels down home, feels like regular girls. Feels like a program that I had no idea they'd been good, that Lisa Bluter been this good this long. Look at her record. She's been great. Brings attention. You're like, oh, it's just a solid program. Whereas it feels like whatever your perception is of the SEC, it just feels like, and there's nothing nefarious at work. They're not doing anything illegal, but it just feels like, hey, we're going to load up, go get a famous coach, go get famous players, throw a bunch of money at them, and we're going to win based upon that fame. Like all of that, the juxtaposition of the two really works. Of course, Angel Reese being black and her being white, I think works. I think the whole story is interesting. But now you take away, like, did anyone really know that the Indiana team was called the Fever until the last couple of days? No, because there's no like historical, rivalry or name recognition. So you take away any of the brand recognition other than the WNBA, which you know exists. You don't know anything else about it. No one knows who the coach of the Fever is. No one knows who any of the players of the Fever are. There's no following nationally. Obviously, locally, they've done a good job. They had 10,000 people in the arena to watch her be drafted last night. And the reality is, I'm not sure there's going to be immediate rivals as much as rivals with the elite players in the league. So do we think there's a carryover? Because remember, there's a month between now and then, and now in their first game. Their first game is going to be played when the NBA playoffs are in full swing. Plus, the weather starts to be warm and fewer people start to watch TV. And those built-in rivalries, like they don't cease to exist, but they're harder to create big games because the games are happening all the time. Jay Stu, what do you think her first year is like? Remember, and I pointed this out, that I know WNBA ratings have been up. Remember, this year they're going to have to take a break mid-season because of the Olympics. And then when she's on the Olympic team, she will not be the best player. She probably will not start, which I don't know what that creates for us in terms of our expectations and our appreciation of her. What do you think happens her first year in the WNBA?
Let's see. I think there's going to be an initial excitement. And, we're broadcasting. We're broadcasting. We're relating to the common sports fan. I'm not talking about WNBA fans here. I'm talking about the common person, me. There's going to be initial interest. We'll pay attention. We'll talk about it on the show. Then the NBA playoffs will drown it out. At the end of the NBA playoffs, we're all going to check in to see if Caitlyn Clark is any good. If she's above average to average, maybe we tune into a couple of her games. And that lasts throughout the season. I don't think they're a playoff team. And then it'll just go back to being the WNBA. Caitlyn Clark was just kind of an average player in this league, and she was a one-off as an Iowa basketball player. That's what this is going to be. Tim Tebow or Jimmer Fredette? I think she's better than Tebow and better than Fredette. I think she'll be really good. Do I think she'll be the best player in the league? I do not.
Can I just add something? Jimmer Fredette was not an efficient scorer. He shot a lot, and his teams never went far in the NCAA tournament. She's the greatest scorer in the history of NCAA, if you want to count both men and women. She's way more than a Jimmer Fredette. I think that's almost like a disrespect to compare her to Fredette. Yes, they both shoot a lot, but she's just like a way better basketball player than Jimmer Fredette. And he's playing in China. I mean, she's still going to be like one of the premier players in the world.
I think about the last 3 quarters of the game against South Carolina. I think about that as her WNBA career. She made some shots, but was largely marginalized by bigger and better players.
Sure, but she's still opened with 18 points, and she can adjust her
That's
game.
why I said the last 3 quarters.
Right. But you still can't. You can't exclude the first quarter where she.
There will also be better players around her.
Yes.
Absolutely. She's got Boston. They've been loading up. They've been loading up high picks.
Don't look back.
By the way, Jimmer Fredette's senior year at BYU, he shot 40% from 3. That's not inefficient. 45 from field. That's not inefficient. 90 from the line, and he averaged 29 points a game and 4.5 assists a game.
I just remember him shooting a lot. And
and I remember her shooting a lot too.
Yeah.
What were her stats?
Better than his.
Were they?
Yeah.
Okay, so what did she shoot from the field?
I believe she shot higher than 45.
Okay.
But again, he never took an average team deep into the NCAA tournament. That's like the Sweet 16.
Right. She shot 38 from 3. That's a percentage point lower.
Okay.
She shot 45 from the field with the exact same percentage he shot. She averaged 31 a game. And she
32.
averaged 9 assists a game.
She also
9 assists.
right.
So she averaged twice the amount of assists.
She also almost she
has twice the number of assists.
Right.
If you remember, the reason his team didn't go far in the tournament, do you remember what happened?
No.
His star center, Brandon Davies, got suspended for the team for an honor code violation. He had sex. I know. And with the woman he eventually is married to now and has kids with now. And I think she was a volleyball player now. So, yes, you're making the argument against him, which is the same argument that Jay Williams made against her, which is kind of ridiculous. I agree with you. Winning and averaging 9 assists a game is amazing what she's been able to do. Okay? But let's not do I'm going to talk ish about Jimmer Fredette, which is not you said he was inefficient. His efficiency numbers are exactly the same as hers. Matter of fact, slightly better from 3. So just go like, my bad. I remember it differently.
Right.
She passes more.
Look at
she
her.
won more.
Look at her career at Iowa. She probably has
Just
better.
say,
numbers.
no. Just start with, my bad. I misremembered it. I didn't remember it. I just gave you the stats. There is no argument. The thing about stats is here's how they work. There is no arguing with them. Okay, I'm listening.
Great.
No.
You beat me by
my bad.
You beat me by a percentage point.
No. It's
I don't
my bad.
care, Doug. I'm not going to apologize.
Yeah, I just
So I
say
know
to
his stats
apologize.
off
You're
the
not
air.
apologizing.
Or his
You're
stats off the top of my
admitting
head.
that you're wrong.
Sure.
So that's what you do. This is big boy stuff. Go, hey, my bad. I was wrong.
You said it.
No.
Doug, what do you
Will
doing
you
here?
bump back with Nirvana's no apologies coming back after the
You
next
don't
break?
have to apologize. You have to go, my bad. I had it wrong. I remember him being a chucker.
Yeah, I misremembered.
Okay.
Yeah.
Fair enough. If you want to misremember, you're good. It's Doug Gottlieb Show here on Fox Sports Radio. So, Dan, what do you think happens? What do you think her first year is like?
I think that it's great, and I think that I don't know how you talked about the break with the Olympics. I don't know how their schedule goes. Once football season takes over, it's over.
Yes. Yep.
There'll be people who watch. Maybe the ratings will be higher than what they were, but she's really filled in an enormous gap of our attention once football ended.
No question. I mean, really, as I said, I think it's more an indictment on the men's game than I do on anything else. But it also shows, what an interesting personal interest story this is. I just don't know when that wears out. When is like, I'm good. Like we still don't follow Jessica that fell down a well.
And it was all apologies by Nirvana, as I've been getting feedback from my buddies. So sorry, Sam.
All apologies. Sam, you good? Sam got a little hot there when he got pressed to say my bad. It's not that. What do the kids say nowadays? It's not that deep. It's not that deep.
Yeah, I'm good.